How's everyone doing? I'm hoping you guys are doing well. So in this game, I have SmG in orange as the Japanese spawning in the west, and in the east we have Rev0lt in green as Jeanne d'Arc. They are playing on Dry Arabia. Pretty standard map, very traditional. This is something a lot of the people absolutely love to play since it's, in my opinion, very generic, but not in a bad way. It's generic in a good way. So Jeanne d'Arc is one of those civilizations at the moment that's pretty difficult to play against. We'll see what SmG plans on doing. At the moment, I think both of them are sitting in High Conqueror 2. I know SmG is. I think Rev0lt is about should be around the same MMR, or well, yellow, I guess, in this game. So they should be about equal skill, and there shouldn't be too much of a difference, or a difference in skill, of course. And I want to see what the Japanese player is going to do to try to postpone Jeanne d'Arc's level up. If he's going to go for some sort of early aggression, or if he's going to try to sit back and turtle for a bit. Since Jeanne d'Arc can be very, very aggressive at the start of feudal. Oh, one moment, I'm sorry. So for those of you who don't know, Jeanne d'Arc is essentially a hero, a Dota 2 hero in AoE4. She starts off as a peasant. When she hits level 2, you get to choose between archer and woman at arms. Woman at arms is easily the best of the two choices. From there, she'll level up into a knight, and then her final form knight. Oh, I almost missed that. Almost gets the pick off on the scout. The out of combat healing is going to be able to take him out of range from SmG scout to make him killable. I think if he just pulled the villagers a little sooner, or garrisoned them a little sooner, he would have been able to get the kill. But back over here to Jeanne d'Arc. She's gonna solo build the School of Cavalry. There's no real reason for her to ever go into what is it called? Commerce. School of Cavalry just makes way more sense than going into Chamber of Commerce for the trade. And over here with our Japanese player, we do see him going into a very standard Kura storehouse. I've seen a few people going into Shinobi. It doesn't really make sense, or into the Koka. It doesn't really make sense doing it for against Jeanne d'Arc. Even though if you're able to get like 2 or 3 of them, because remember, as soon as the Koka pops out, okay, this is me live casting. Well, not really live casting, but throwing out some theory crafting at the same time as the cast. So if you're able to get like 3 shinobi, right, they are a little weak in terms of health. They have no armor, range, nor melee, but they do 25 damage to her. She sits at 2 I think it's 2 melee armor, 3 ranged armor as a woman at arms. She has a lot of health though. So let's say she's at 3 armor, 3 melee armor, 25, 22 attack. That'll be 2 of them. You do start with a single shinobi when the Koka clicks over, and then you rush out 2 more. That's 66 damage and attack. I don't know. Plus you could was it Shoshun? I'm just gonna call it blink. And then you could still blink away for that added micro too. I'm gonna have to try that next time I go against Jeanne d'Arc. Go into the Koka, and then you could go in as well. Usually this is where they'll build their School of Cavalry though, as close as they can, generally as close as they can to the to their town center. You wouldn't be able to get a sabotage off on the cavalry unless they place it kind of greedy, like up here. But if you're able to, that's an added bonus. Either way though, let's say they clicked over at, or aged up roughly at about the same time. Your first shinobi would be moving Wait, does the boar count as melee? No, it doesn't. It's just food source. Okay. I'm definitely going to have to try that Coca strategy against the next Jeanne d'Arc person I play. Usually what I do if I see that their match history is a Jeanne d'Arc, then I'll just play the Ottoman Empire and laugh at them in Janissary, because it's way too easy to just mass up a really good amount of Janissaries. So Rev0lt does go for the woman at arms as easily predicted. Not gonna try to take any credit for that. Moves out towards her boar. Excuse me. Actually, she doesn't even know her boar is there. Oh, a little bit. It doesn't pop up on the mini map though. Rev0lt did know it was there. Does it know? Wait, where's the second boar? Oh, they're really close to each other. Usually you'll get one on one side of the map and the other one on the opposite side, but yeah, Rev0lt does know it's there. So is he gonna just go over? Yeah, he's gonna just beeline it straight to the other boar. That's a lot of experience plus a wolf on the way. But it'd be better just to go straight for the boar so you don't risk it. Let's see. Yeah, both players know where the boar is. We see the Takazaiku coming through for SmG, which is the tier 2 version of the wheelbarrow, of their unique version of the wheelbarrow. I know I've been focusing a lot on Jeanne d'Arc, but back here with the Japanese player, we see 3 farms up. The 4th farm came up probably a few seconds ago, and the spears are chasing away the knight that tried coming in. No villager kills as of yet for Jeanne d'Arc. Nice reaction time on those villagers. Pull them away before any more damage comes through. 2 spears are gonna chill next to the food source, try to prevent any further damage, and any potential villager kills. And a full wall off is going to be coming up on the western side of SMG's base. He's sitting on 2 racks right now, plus 1 attack is going to be coming through along with an outpost at his gold. We're sitting at a decent amount of villagers, 28 to 28. Like I said, no villager kills or anything yet. There have been a couple pulls. That's fine. I'd rather have a little bit of idle time compared to losing a couple villagers. Jeanne d'Arc is moving out now with 4 knights. That's a lot of damage. How many charges? She has 2 charges on her Holy Wrath, which is 20 damage in a 1.25 tile radius on an 8-second cooldown and a 60-second recharge timer. Japanese player is going towards his stone now with only 3 villagers, though he doesn't really need it. His +2, he has enough resources to get his +2 attack. I think he's just gonna be trying to grab a little bit extra in order to get the daimyo, and possibly, okay, so he used some of it for the arrow slits already. Those villagers should be, no, they're not in vision. They're barely outside of vision of that knight. Wow. Okay. We do have the scout. We have SMG scout right there, right in front of the stone to notify if anybody's going to try to come and harass. But Rev0lt's Jeanne d'Arc being able to get both of those boars so quickly, since they were so close to each other, is massive. Now we have a little bit of a strike force coming through for SMG over to Jeanne d'Arc's side. 2 TCs for SMG, or excuse me, for Rev0lt is up, and another little army getting caught out of position. 8 experience comes through for Jeanne d'Arc, while the other little strike force is going to go over there towards, do a little run by, a little hit squad, go towards the gold of Rev0lt. Very minimal damage has been done to the army. Turn. SMG needs to split his units right here. That's a lot of AoE that could potentially come through, but Rev0lt isn't paying attention at all, and SMG gets the Jeanne d'Arc kill. He was distracted by the run by that was happening on the other side of the map, and Revolt is forced to do a buyback. Is he going to be able to get another Jeanne d'Arc kill? Not under, I highly doubt under the TC. If he's able to pull her away, that's 5 spears, 2 samurai. I don't think they're going to be able to clean this up by themselves. Nice AoE comes through for Jeanne, weakens only 2 of them though, only 2 of the spears. One knight does go down. He can turn and fight this now. The second royal knight is very, very low. Have the samurai turn around, try to focus down the archers or even Jeanne d'Arc herself, because at this rate he's gonna lose that army anyways, but he is kiting it away from his other force. Currently building the ram. He's gonna attempt to try to take out the second TC. The army in the northeast get completely wiped out. SMG is sitting at 20 supply, 20 army to Revolt's 16. He has 10 spears, 7 geisha, 2 samurai, and a single ram against Revolt's 9 archers, 7 royal knights, and a level 2 Jeanne d'Arc who has 4 charges on Holy Wrath. She's gonna do an immense amount of damage in this upcoming fight if she's able to sustain. She also does have Revolt does have 1 consecration charge banked up at the moment. The first one went onto the School of Cavalry. He could be using the second one onto the town center, onto his main TC, and SMG's army does get scouted out by a lone royal knight. Revolt is backing off. He's sending okay he was sending in Jeanne d'Arc by herself. I think he wanted to just run in there, pop Holy Wrath before the fight actually starts, back off, and then attempt to use it again during the actual engagement, but decided against it. Now Revolt is moving northbound. This is a huge wall that's coming up on in front of SMG's base, our orange Japanese player. He still has the rest of his army sitting over here, about a screen distance away from Revolt's second town center, building a second ram. And we have the first bannerman about to hit the field. What upgrades does he have? He has +1 attack or +2 attack, and that's it, with his tier 2 unique wheelbarrow, compared to wheelbarrow +1 attack or melee attack for, and level 1 horticulture for Revolt. Now he's gonna push in with both of these rams, and Revolt is completely out of position for this. He won't know until that triggers, until the alarm triggers that he's under attack, and by then he's going to lose that second town center. Instant reaction comes through when the alert comes up, but he's so far away. He was trying to protect all these villagers that were out in the open getting the deer patch, and now we have a massive, I shouldn't say massive, a good sized army for SMG. He's sitting at 40 army, and the first engagement is gonna come up. Decides to not fully engage. Instead, he's gonna be going for the rams. Try to get those out of the way so they don't soak up any damage during the actual engagement or delay any future reinforcements. +1 melee armor coming through for our Jeanne d'Arc player, and our Japanese player is sitting at +1 melee, +2 melee attack, +1 melee armor, and +1 ranged armor, splitting off his geishas to try to maximize the amount of chaos that he could stir up, because he doesn't have any idea. I think he's just gonna go for, well, then again, he has scouted the deer that were up here, so since they're not alive, he knows that they're either gone already or just completely, or all the villagers still there. First villager goes down, second one goes down. SMG is currently sitting at 5 villager kills, while Revolt hasn't got a single one. Revolt, send your villagers back. your army isn't here yet. You're gonna donate villagers. Is he gonna be able to pick off another villager? No, he is not, but he will lose his geishas before then. Meanwhile, another geisha run by coming up here to the southern side of Revolt's base as he's trying to age up with the Royal Institute. 13 villagers are currently attempting to bring that up as quickly as possible. 2 villagers go down, a third one barely escapes that was building it. One does go down on gold, second one goes down from the gold vein, and now the rest of his reinforcements come up, able to clear out those geisha that were there. Royal Institute finishes. Castle upgrade should be coming up shortly as well. As for our Japanese player, he's aging up to castle as well with the floating gate. 11 villagers bringing that up. It should be up and running within the next 5-ish seconds. Meanwhile, the geishas that did the run by have all been cleaned up. That was about 8 geishas that were there. Veterancies coming through for the archers and as well for the royal knights. More barracks are getting dropped at the moment for SmG. He has a nice little farm economy going up right now. Daimyo Manor going up to level 2 Daimyo Palace, and then we'll be seeing the Shogunate Palace probably within the next 3 to 5 minutes, since that's going to be the main source of his eco, are going to be these farms. He has ventured off a little bit. 9 villagers on these deer. He actually has these deer secured as well if he wants to drop down a wall in between, another wall in between these 2 wood lines to further secure himself. And even if he does start seeing these get burned down, he could quick wall with the amount of villagers that he has. And an engagement is about to pop off over here. Oh, sorry for the camera angle, guys. Full engagement. Knights were not able to get their charge off. Spears are doing a lot of damage, trying to poke off the spears are doing a lot of damage to the knights. Jeanne d'Arc pops the heal and goes down. Full wraparound coming through with the knights with the spears and the samurai. 2 bannermen have gone down. Their banners do stay up and running for 30 seconds after their death. Without Jeanne d'Arc here though, I'm not entirely sure if they're going to be able to hold. They broke it through the knight front line. The archers are getting picked off little by little, even with the crossbows coming in. They're not going to be, or he's not going to be able to hold that position. The arbiters, that's what I call them anyways, are going to be doing slow trickle damage to these, since they don't actually have a decent number. Currently only has 4 on the field. 10 archers, 4 crossbows, and 2 royal knights that could potentially just get picked off right now if he decides to focus fire them. As for SmG, our Japanese player, he's sitting at 21 army supply, 14 samurai, 5 geishas, 1 spear, and his Shinto priest should be grabbing relics potentially. Actually, he's already grabbed 1 with another on the way, and he has slightly better upgrades from what it seems like. His +3 should have already came through. Bannerman is out too, so you'll notice that it has an additional +1 there. He's SmG did send a little bit of an army for an attempted run by. There is an outpost right there, so he will be able to see it coming before it actually shows up. Oh, sorry about that. I was looking at the wrong one. So we have 1 rally coming through for Revolt, our Jeanne d'Arc player, and a second one just got placed, while we only have 1 for our Japanese player, and he hasn't grabbed any other ones yet, even though he does have 2 Shinto priests, and there's a random archer in the back of his base next to the deer. I missed the Bugeisha and Samurai run by. They were able to pick off 2 more villagers, a potential 3rd coming up too. Jeanne d'Arc is up now. Should be able to get a nice cleave in. It'll only get rid of the deflective armor though from the samurais and not effectively kill them. So that's going to be a lot of damage mitigated right there. SMG could potentially turn around and fight, could have potentially turned around and fought that before the rest of the reinforcements came in. He could still turn and fight this. I think he could, not anymore. I think he could have actually won that fight before the rest of the army showed up. When it was only her champions and 2 archers, I think he could have actually won that. But now that the Royal Knights are there, no way. We have another little 9-man 9-woman hit squad coming through of Bugashas towards another. Oh, is he gonna notice all of those villagers? He does. They're trying to build an outer wall, and they're gonna. What are you doing? What are you doing, SMG? Pull. 1, 2 villagers, 3 villagers go down. Meanwhile, Jeanne d'Arc and the rest of her forces are still chasing those samurai to the almost from one side of the map to the other side of the map. Meanwhile, these Bugesha are getting another 4 villager kills potentially. No, Palisade Gate comes up just in time, and these geisha are gonna get away as well. SMG will be losing a Shinto priest, and Revolt will regain control of that sacred site. 5 of the geisha have already went down, and the rest of them will be getting cleaned up right now as well. I think SMG could have easily gave him the runaround and brought them back to his base. The lonely monk to regain control of one of the sacred sites, or regain control of the sacred site. With this, that'll give him 3 and a potential well, it'll give him the countdown for the sacred site victory. As for army, we see 54 now for SMG, 20 geishas, 20 spears, 4 onamusha, 6 samurai, 3 bannermen, and for Jeanne d'Arc, 49 military, 17 spears, 16 why can't I'm able to say it when I'm not casting. Like, I swear to you guys, my brain isn't this messed up when I'm not casting. 16 crossbows, 20 royal knights, 3 Jeanne's champions, and wait, oh, that's Jeanne d'Arc herself as her knight form. Somehow SMG was able to cancel the sacred site in the middle, even though Jeanne d'Arc was there. SMG is ahead by a significant amount of villagers, considering he's got 20 villager kills this game. He's sitting at 82 to 58 of revolts, and the military supply just keeps going higher and higher for our Japanese player. The amount of pressure that he's been putting on this entire game, yes, our Jeanne d'Arc player has been a little, I'm not going to say slow to react, because his reaction time has been pretty decent throughout the entire game. He just hasn't been able to get any real poke damage in like you would want with your early knights. SMG was able to pull back the villagers very, very quickly whenever the knights would try to come in and poke. He got a very early outpost at his gold to deny any type of harassment done there. SMG's defense has been immaculate this game, and the amount of damage that he's done, counter damage to Revolt, to our Jeanne d'Arc player, has been phenomenal as well. He's constantly roaming the map trying to get whatever picks he possibly can. And another town center comes down for Revolt. This time it's a forward town center. I don't think he had it hotkeyed. There was quite a bit of TC idle time on there. 3 outposts, over here defending this gold. He has 19 villagers there, so even if there is a run by, 4 villagers are pretty much going to go down. And we see Jeanne d'Arc backing up, not taking this fight at all right now. A lot of poke damage coming in from our Japanese player because of those onamusha and because of the bannermen, the Yuma bannermen. this is not that good of a position for Revolt to be fighting in. Jeanne d'Arc is about to go down yet again for the 4th time this match. The concave is amazing for SMG. The concave was amazing for SMG. You see the all the melee on the left side are getting all the archers, getting the crossbow. There's only a small sliver of an army left from what we started with, and even then these are about to get cleaned up. The Bugeisha, the samurai, just putting in so much work. The Yuma bannerman and the Onimusha being able to pick off so many of the royal knights on Revolt's retreat. Jeanne d'Arc won't be up for at least another minute and a half, so there's no fallback there for him quite yet. Revolt needs to stutter step these as best as he can to try to delay it as much as he can, but his units, his knights, are just trickling in 1, 2 at a time, and they're just instantly getting picked off. Revolt does have a nice little corridor right here, a nice little narrow choke in order to pick off the samurai, the bannermen, and the geishas, but they're just archers. There's 2 crossbows in there, and that's it. Army supply vastly in SMG's favor, 60 to 19, 99 villagers to 62. Jeanne d'Arc does come out to clean up. Revolt loses his 2nd town center for the 2nd time this game. Meanwhile, the Onimusha in the back picking off more and more villagers. SMG is currently sitting at 38 villager kills. Immaculate micro coming in from our Japanese player. During this entire time, Jeanne d'Arc still only has 1 villager kill, and they're the ones that are supposed to be harassing the entire game, and SMG is giving her a taste of her own medicine. It's safe to say that Revolt has been picked apart little by little this entire game. He really has been. Even though Jeanne d'Arc had such a good start with both of those board positionings, getting so much experience so quickly, he wasn't able to capitalize it because SMG didn't allow him to. 107 villagers to 49, and 20 of those 49 are currently idle for Revolt. They're also sitting goldless on the southwestern side, direct south side of the map. And more militaries trickling in for SMG, who's currently sitting at 66 to his opponent's 27. Way better upgrades, just more cost-effective units. Jeanne d'Arc was able to use a Holy Wrath once right there. All it did was proc the deflective armor from a majority of the samurai. We have consecrations coming up on all of Revolt's military production, reducing the cost by 35%. I think it is 35% food, right? 25% food. I don't know what Revolt could possibly do. He doesn't have enough stone for a defensive keep. Pops his heal, and here comes the Mangonel to deal with the rest of the ranged forces when they clump up. Charge does not go through. He doesn't fully commit, but Jeanne d'Arc gets grabbed and killed yet again before able to do anything worthwhile in the fight. And I see a GG coming through for Revolt very soon. The buyback comes through for Jeanne d'Arc, attempts to go for the Mangonel. It does get a shot off before it dies. I don't think Jeanne d'Arc's gonna live very much longer. Oh, able to barely get away with 60 HP. The amount of damage mitigation she has is absolutely insane. Should be able to go in there and at least pop the Holy Wrath once, gets a kill with it, and gets picked off on her retreat. No buyback for her Revolt this time. We'll have to call GG, and the win goes to SMG, our Japanese player. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. and I'll see you next time.